a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance.
Hi, Arvin, Kuya Ed tuloy. Hi. Hi, Kuya Ed.
Hello,
Hi.
Ate Mick, Kuya Arv.
I'm hearing myself.
Yeah, I hear myself too.
Yeah, there's someone has it on. Right? So good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing? Hi, mga ka-Socal.
Hello, hello, hello,
Does
everybody.
anybody have their iPhone on?
No.
Kuya
I have
Ed?
mine on, but it's off. I mean, volume-wise, it's off.
Yeah, I'm hearing my voice
Mhm.
twice. Yeah. So good evening, everybody.
Hello, here we are again. We're back.
Here we are again.
Bilis ng
Happy
isang
almost
linggo.
Friday.
Happy
And
belated MLK to all.
oh yeah, that's right. Belated Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Yeah. Then Friday tomorrow again.
So it's a new year, Kuya Ed.
Ate naman, matatapos na yung January. Tapos na
I
yun.
know, but I mean, New Year, diba? Inauguration was yesterday,
yan.
right? It's a brand new year for everybody.
New president, new face, new look, new lipstick.
Yeah.
New, new, newly beard kay Kuya.
Wala ka na
Idol ko yun.
mag-ahit
Ang
yan.
galing ng jamming nila last week no?
Oo, talaga. Thank you
Very
naman.
impressive. Impressivo. Clap, clap, clap. Yan.
Pinaklap ka siya.
So what's going on, guys?
So today we have some very special people once again. So, every week we feature a slice of SoCal Pinoys in our show. And tonight we're going to be featuring our chefs.
Uy, nako,
And apparently there's
pampagutom.
so many of them in SoCal Pinoy's Facebook group.
Galing mo
Right,
talaga.
Kuya Ed?
Galing mo talaga pumili ng guess. Yung paborito mong department talaga, no?
Talaga, excited talaga ako. Paborito ko talaga yung mga to. Kasi sila yung gumagawa ng ating mga pagkain.
Mga Socal Pinoy, manood kayo, i-share nyo na to lahat sa kamag-anak nyo wherever they are in the world. Naku, magagaling magluto to, makakapulot ako dito. Yan, lalo ka na, Ninang numero 1, Ninang. Ninang Cecil, yan.
Ayan. And for those who want to share our live feed, you can share the link from the Mick Diaz Presents YouTube channel or the Mick Diaz Presents Facebook page. Yeah. And before anything else, of course, I want to thank our sponsors. So our founder, Socal Pinoy founder Charles Lawrence Chamorro of Keller Williams Realty sponsored our show, as well as Miss Adele Gutierrez of Poki and More Hawaiian Restaurant in Long Beach, as well as the Hi-Fi Hedgehog gift shop. And later on, towards the end of the show, we're going to have a lot of raffles. So our guests have graciously um, shared with us their expertise as far as the things that they cook, right? The food that they cook, and they will raffle it off later towards the end of the show. And if you're watching live, hashtag live, and if you're watching the replay, hashtag replay.
Hashtag replay, walang
Right,
raffle.
Kuya Ed? Shall we call each one of them? We have so many guests. We have 6 chefs in the show tonight.
Oh, pay na tayo. Umpisa na natin.
Kaya umpisahan na natin.
Para makarami yung kakainin natin.
Yeah, and so first we have me, Ignacio Diaz. She's actually from Nueva Ecija, but she has a very diverse background in the front of the house, the back of the house, and she came to the U.S. to become a chef specifically. And she started her career at both Gancock Cut and Spago in Beverly Hills. Can you imagine? I mean, that's like really awesome,
Beverly
right?
Hills.
Yeah. Social,
Good
di
place
ba?
to be.
And so she also worked at the Cirque in Bellagio and the Ritz Carlton, and most recently she worked at the Sunset Hotel, Tower Hotel in West Hollywood. Hi, Mimi.
Oh, hi.
Hello,
everyone.
Madam Mimi.
Yeah, hi
Good
everyone.
evening.
Good evening.
Beverly Hills. Yun.
Yeah, that's when I started.
Yeah, how long ago is that?
A decade ago, like more than 10 years ago. I started as a prep cook.
That is so awesome.
Yeah, I was a prep cook at the Four Seasons Hotel in Beverly, Wilshire. So it was a very good experience for me. So from prep cook, I was moved to the line. So I got to learn a lot more.
Yeah, and we're gonna talk about all of your experiences a little bit later, and right now we'll bring on Carlo Avanceña of Calajo Catering. Hey, Carlo, how are you doing?
Hello. I'm very good. How are you guys?
Good. How are you doing? Can
Very
you tell us
good.
a little bit about yourself?
Oh yeah, no problem. My name is Carlo Avanceña. I'm the chef owner of Calajo Catering here in Santa Clarita. I've been a chef for over 15 years. I went to culinary school. It's traditionally trained, French trained in the Le Cordon Bleu. And then after that, just started working my way up as executive chef in some restaurants as well. So yeah, so during the pandemic, I got laid off. Unfortunately, I lost my job, and then me and my wife decided to launch our business that we planned for years already. So we planned to open Calajo Catering years ago, and during the pandemic, we were able to start it in March, actually last year. So actually this year will be 1 year this March. Hello.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah. So thank you very much for coming to the show. And we're gonna talk a lot about your experiences in the kitchen and what you've done during this time of the pandemic. A little bit later on, so I'm gonna ask everyone questions about their experiences and how they started and whatnot. And so our next person, he is actually a director of culinary operations for the Commerce Casino, and he just actually started his own passion project, which is the keto-friendly meal prep. So let's all welcome Michael Neflas.
Hello.
Hi, Michael. How are you doing?
Hi, everyone. I'm doing well. How are you?
Good.
Right.
Can you tell us a little bit something about yourself?
Yeah. So I'm the director of operations for the Commerce Casino. I've been there a little bit more than a year. Just barely saw a few weeks of operations and have kind of had to to change everything that we've done as far as COVID is concerned. And so, like you said, I have a passion project that I've been working on lately, and just kind of happy to share my experience here with you guys tonight.
That is so awesome. And our next person also has his own fashion project, and it's called the Tisoy Curryative Cuisines, and it just started actually this past weekend. And he actually works for the largest university in California, and we all know which university that is. But yeah, let's all welcome him. His name is Matthew Curry.
Hi,
Hi,
how's everyone? Thank you for having me.
Hi, Matthew.
Hi, it's a pleasure.
Can you tell us something about yourself?
Well, I've been cooking for over 15 years. I worked in hospitals, hotels, and the university. I have a passion for cooking and put customers above and beyond to provide them excellent customer service.
That is so cool. And so the last person that we have on the show right now is Hilarion Castillo. So he's the chef and director of food service at Kaiser Permanente. So, all the good food that we have in the hospital. Yeah, so Hilarion's in charge of that. And so after graduating from Cal Poly in Pomona with a bachelor's degree in hotel and restaurant management, he pursued his MBA in the University of Laverne. And so, like what I said, like he's actually working currently in Kaiser Permanente. And later on, we'll have Aldes Bernardo follow us in the show. He's actually still at work, but hopefully he can get on the show so we can have him also. Yes, and so let's all welcome Hilarion.
Hi, good evening, everybody.
Hello.
Thank you for having me. So I mean, food has been my life. I mean, I'm half Filipino, half Hungarian, so both very food oriented, very hospitable people. So I put the two cultures together, and here I am. So I've been cooking probably maybe since I was 8. Do everything from scratch, and I do things authentically. So yeah, Nick mentioned that I did go to school, hotel restaurant management. And then I also got my master's, and I'm now in food service in hospitals. So some of you might think, I mean, when I was going to school at Cal Poly, everyone was thinking of restaurants, hotels, resorts. And my mom was a nurse, my dad's an accountant. So obviously they want to pull me in those directions, and food has always been my passion. So it didn't follow them. So, but my dad said, if you want to have a good life and you want to not work every weekend and sacrifice family time, and stay in healthcare. So I have actually worked only in healthcare. My first job was downtown LA, Good Samaritan Hospital, and I've worked food service. So hospital food's one thing, but there's other things about it. There's catering, there's med exec, caterings that you do that help spruce up your talent. The other hospitals I work, we did a lot of catering. At Kaiser, we don't do catering, so my main focus is just patient care. So I oversee food service in Riverside, and I also oversee Moreno Valley. So I'm over 2 hospitals. Throw in Filipino fusion. We do Filipino food breakfast every Thursday. We have fried rice, tocino, longanisa, things like that. So happy to be here.
That is awesome, but that's not a place I would want to go to right now. Not the hospital.
No.
Yeah, and so I'm sure everyone wants to find out, how did you become a chef, and what was your inspiration in becoming a chef? How did it all start for all of you guys? So anyone can answer. Like, we can go with Michael first if you want.
All right. So I am also half Filipino and then half, it's a mix, mostly Danish. But growing up, in a household where my dad was the one that did the majority of the cooking and everything, having the experience of working outside and working the garden with him, and growing the vegetables that you couldn't find at the grocery store that were essential to the foods that he was cooking for us. It sparked an interest for me as well, and so I've been in the kitchen with him since I was a little kid as well. And then I also went to Cal Poly. I started as a computer and electrical engineer. I spent 2 years doing that, and when I decided that they were making up the calculus as they went, it was for me anymore. So I transferred up to the Collins School, and I finished my bachelor's there, and then I went from there and went to the Culinary Institute of America up at Greystone in Northern California, and polished off kind of the culinary side of my education, and the rest has just kind of been all on the job learning. But that the passion really was derived from my dad and the time that I spent with him, growing up in the kitchen.
That's so awesome. And I'm sure a lot of you are the same, but so we have Alges. Let's welcome Alges to the show. Hi, Alges.
Hi, what's up? How are
Hi.
you guys? I just came home. Sorry about that.
Can you tell us something about yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Almark Bernardo. I'm the chef of Legend. It's located in Vermont and Third. I heard all of your stories. You guys are so big. I'm just starting, so I hope I can learn from you guys as well. Yeah, so I work in a Vietnamese restaurant. I graduated in Philippines. It's as a culinary school in Balagtas, Bulacan, and then when I went here, um, my first job is not in the restaurant. So I started working in a restaurant like 3 years ago, and then I was a sous chef, and then until before the pandemic, our head chef got sick, and then it was a big bump, and then it was a shock for me as well. And that's how I became the chef of Legend.
That's so awesome. So taking opportunities as they come, right, and grabbing them. And so since you're already, speaking, can you tell us a little bit about how you became a chef and what inspired you to become a chef?
Well, before, you know how our parents, well, a lot of Filipino parents want their kids to be nurses, and then that's the first course they chose for me. I didn't like it. I didn't went to school. And then second, they said do information technology. Again, it's their choice again, not me. So I didn't go to school again until I said I want to cook. I want to cook. I want to learn how to cook. Um, I studied culinary arts for the main purpose. I love to eat. I really love to eat. So I want to cook the food I like. So I don't need to go to like far places to cook it. So I think the main, I mean the biggest reason that made me go to the food industry is my love for food. My love for food.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure that's same with everybody. We all love food, right? And we gravitate to where the food is, right?
Yeah.
I mean, at least I know that's true for me, although I can't, cook like a chef. So, Hilarion, can you tell us what inspired you to become a chef and why did you become a chef?
Sure. Like I said earlier, that I always like to cook, right? My parents didn't want me to do what I'm doing because they said that there won't be, they talked me down from this. There won't be money. There won't be, if you want to raise a family and this and that and the other. So, I mean, really what inspired me was just my innate passion. I've always liked food. It always came natural. Never had to really work hard at what I do or what I've attained when it comes to cooking, because my brain is like a recipe book. I don't write anything down. I don't measure anything. So it's just one of those innate things that I think I have. So, and whenever I go places, I mean, like when I go to the province in the Philippines, or I go to like the little towns where my mom's from, I always learn something. I always, I'm there. If they're going to kill a pig, I'm there 4 o'clock holding the foot. I'm there, things like that. So I really use those things, and a lot of things that my family have done and do in life or have taught me. I try to always keep that in my mind, because I mean, what my Lola taught me, like I don't know if you know, but I also sell longanisa on the it's called Taste of the Local. So that's kind of something I just started. Did it throughout college because my parents didn't allow me to work, so I made some money by making longanisa. I made casino things like that I sold, and that's kind of what's been my passion. It's just like I've done things that done a lot of things when it comes to cooking, and like my family, I'm the go-to person. Family parties. We've never cooked anything. We never bought anything growing up, so we always made everything. Like just recently, I think my cousins are now buying things because it's easier. But I mean, growing up, all the Lolas got together, got together and cooked. All the moms got together, and I guess was just around that. And it's always good to be around good food, right? I mean, it's not a bad thing, right? So good food draws, good company, and I think that's really what comes down to it. It really, like, it brings good company, and when there's good company, people enjoy themselves. So that's really what I like. I like when people eat my food and they enjoy it, and if they don't, then it's like, how can I make it better? Those are the things that I take.
That is so awesome, and that is so true. Good food loves good company, right? I mean, yeah. I mean, my gosh, I'm like getting hungry. I just ate. I mean, just the thought of food, right, Kuya Ed?
Yeah, this is the perfect scenario right here. One party, everybody cooks, huh?
This is gonna be my favorite show. I'm just kidding.
All they're gonna do is cook and under quality controller.
Yeah,
All
just like
they just taste all the things they
yeah.
cook.
I mean, like I'm a taste tester, so if you guys have like anything you need someone to taste, like I'm it. I'm just, I mean, like just trivia, like every night. Oh my gosh, like every time I'm not like in front of my computer, I'm always watching the food channel. I'm always watching some type of cooking show, and yeah, so I can't tell you enough. I mean, like, yeah, like I've seen so many cooking shows and I get stressed, and all of that. And like, I'm really in it when I see them cooking and all that stuff. And I'm sure you guys don't watch that stuff because, like you live it, right? Every single day. And so Matthew, can you tell us what inspired you to become a chef and why you became a chef?
Well, my grandmother, she always cooked in the kitchen. I'm half black and Filipino, the new version of Tisoy 2021. And yeah, she
You're the
just
Tisoy, yeah. You have fan club right here.
yes,
I'm looking right now.
the
The
darker
organic
shades.
curry. Wow.
Yeah, so she's been in my inspiration cooking, and made pancit, lumpia, all handmade. She had her clients come to the house illegally, but now I'm thankful that I have a permitted micro enterprise home kitchen operation. And so in 2006, I graduated the Art Institute of Orange County, and ever since then, my passion just flew by. And just recently, I was laid off temporary from the university because of COVID, and I had 4 long months to sit down and figure out what am I going to do. I kept putting myself as a victim. I applied to places that I never thought I was going to do before, and then I even enrolled in a what is that, the informational technology class. I was so lost that I didn't even know the words, the technical aspect of it. But then I had this opportunity to start this micro enterprise home kitchen operation, cooking Filipino food out of the comfort of my own home. So I'm very proud and thankful, and I give my mom credit. She's been my inspiration as well. She's a nurse. Shout out to Joy Coy, and we're here.
That is so awesome. Congratulations.
Thank
You
you.
guys,
On
you guys have
your
like sample of the food we can share on the video or something? Your special,
Definitely. We'll
huh?
create a new app for tasting.
yeah, virtually, right?
Right,
Just
virtually
virtually.
tasting.
It'll come out straight out of your computer or your screen, right?
Definitely.
Did
Anything is
you
possible.
request a picture of your sample so we can just
Yeah,
post it there?
yeah, we do. We actually have a raffle later, and three of our guests, Al, Mark, Matthew, and Carlo, will be sharing their food as well as Michael Neflas. Yeah,
Oh,
so later, so watch out and stick until the very end of the show because our gracious guests, will share their food that they make.
All right.
And so Mimi, do you can you tell us, how you got into being a chef and what inspired you to become a chef?
Yes, I think just like most, I was inspired by my grandmother. She was really a very good cook. So, like growing up, tasting her food and seeing, like, how Filipinos are, we love to party, we love to like just get together. And I've seen like how food can make other people happy. And that struck me. And then, I graduated hotel and restaurant in the Philippines, but when I moved here, I still studied in a culinary arts program. And after that, I was like so enamored by the fine dining restaurants. So I went in three of those fine dining kitchens, which are all Michelin stars. So I was just like, I love the discipline that goes with it, but also like, we're bringing out the best food, the best quality, and just the way, like, how it looks. It's be very, it needs to be like very appetizing to the eyes. And I've learned so much. I've learned a lot, like from, like farm to table type, like what's in season and what to do with it. Like, yeah, I love those stuff.
That is so awesome. Like, I'm so curious about the creative process of chefs. But before anything, let's ask Carlo what inspired him to become a chef.
Oh yes, man. Everyone's story seems so similar to mine as well. All Filipinos growing up, they tell you not to be a cook. Like my mom, she was a computer engineer. My dad graduated with business. Cooking came from my grandma and my mom. But yeah, it's really nice to hear everyone's story. Not starting at culinary first, but like just like me. I went into computer science, didn't like it. Always wanted to go to culinary school, just pushed myself, saved money. Was able to finally go to culinary school and just start cooking. Worked in different restaurants, hotels, made my way up, and then I'm just here. I am just like very similar to Matthew. I got laid off from my job too. I was a chef in the Santa Monica Lowe's. Got laid off during the pandemic. My wife as well. She works in hospitality. She was a catering manager at the Lux Hotel in LA. So when we both got laid off, this is what we wanted to do. This is our passion. This is why we started Calajo. And then for her, Calajo in her dialect, which is Igbo, it means come. Come eat, just like everyone else. Come eat. That's exactly how our families always taught us. It's always food first. Are you hungry? Have you eaten? That's the first thing they always ask you when you get home. Have you had something to eat already? Even if you had something to eat, here's some more food. Oh, I want you to take it for baon. Things like that. Growing up, it was always food surrounding me. So it was just natural for me to just do what comes natural. It's just I love food. I love cooking. And again, it takes away that stigma. You don't have to be a nurse. It's good to be a nurse, good to be a doctor, but you don't have to be those people. Just to see, different chefs who are Filipino. That's already showing me that this is where Filipinos can go to. You can be a nurse, you can be a doctor, but you can also be a chef. You can be a cook. You can start your business from home. It just starts with that passion, and it really starts with I guess like this as being chefs. It started with food for us. Someone teaching us and showing us exactly what food meant to us. And again, for us, it's always about family. It's always about getting together, and it's always just about knowing our past as Filipinos, especially growing up here in.
That is so awesome. Yes. And I'm sure a lot of our viewers have the same experiences when it comes to, taking inspiration from our family. A lot of us, were left at home with our grandparents, right? And they were the ones who fed us, right? Yeah. And so, going back to being a chef, a lot of us really don't know what happens inside a restaurant or inside a dining facility, right? And so can someone explain to us what the hierarchy is and what chefs do, and who if chefs are also managers and leaders in their own right inside the kitchen. And so can someone explain to us what the different positions are, and what are the dynamics between front of the house and back of the house? Anybody, Michael or Matthew or Carlo?
Jump in.
Maybe I was thinking I should go first because I'm going to be different than everybody else, and then yours going to get assimilate more together. I mean, for a hospital, we have very strict regulations. We're regulated by multiple regulators. We have Title 22 we have to follow. We have local, county, and then we also have what we call people. It's called Joint Commission surveys that they come and survey kitchens. We all, we're held to different standards. So if a restaurant gets a B, if we got a B, then we would be maybe instant jeopardy, which means it would shut the hospital down. Because we feed a immune compromised population, right? So we have to really make sure that food safety is utmost priority. So they're pretty cutthroat. So I've had a lot of experience with them, walking with surveyors, and our surveyors are typically registered dietitians or RNs, but dietitians are much more severe harsh because they know what it takes for food service in hospitals. So the way my management team is we're a total of 5 in Riverside. I'm the director. I have 2 assistant directors. One manages the cafe side. The other manager manages the clinical side. So underneath the clinical side, I also have 6 dietitians that I also manage. That they do tube feedings. They suggest the rates of tube feedings. They different diets we have. We have maybe about 12 diets that patients get prescribed by physician. So when you get into a hospital, you can't necessarily just choose your food. You have to be prescribed a diet by a physician. So if you're suffering from cardiac heart failure, then you have a low sodium type. That's where the food becomes bland. It's not because we want it to be. It's because we have to prepare these recipes according to these specific diets. We have cardiac renals. So renals are typically kidney failures. We have different things that we have to make sure we don't give them potassium. So it's really regulated, and we have very tight recipes we follow. It's all about standardization. So within Kaiser, Southern California, there's 13 facilities, and we all operate on the same menu. So it's really interesting. We have we call Seaboard, which we use as a software that we use, that we are able to, everything goes into that software where it spits out to my employees what it's a ticket what this patient can have. So it's really actually very complex when it comes to the different diets. And I have to remember that my employees, as most of your employees are not, high school graduates, so I deal with a lot of, English as a second language. So there's a lot of, you have to really take things down to a level they can understand, because it can be, at the end of the day, risking somebody's life. So with that being said, we run 24/7. We run not 24/7, but we run from about 5:30 a.m. to 9 o'clock p.m. So there's always something. So not only that, but then I also have the finance piece, which I'm typically over. So I look at the budget, the overtime, and things like that. My employees are all unionized, so that's another thing that takes most of my time is union issues about different contract not being followed and things like that. I enjoy what I do. My job, I typically, go in about 8:30. I leave about 5:30, 6 o'clock. So, I have kind of like what you call a 9-to-5 job, if you will. I do cook once in a while when I need that itch to get out of my office and do something new, something different. So I do cook in the cafeteria. We have theme days in the cafeteria. We try to do different things to bring people down, to make it a little different. And that's when I typically help with those things. What else about so that's kind of how it is, our operations ran. I mean, with COVID right now, I mean, we typically feed on a normal day pre-COVID about 150 patients. I'm feeding close to 300. So it's almost double. And, all these patients are on, are in isolation. So they have to have different ways we feed them. So we don't give them normal trays. There's still different things that we have to follow. And there's a lot of training that gets involved with my employees, teaching the diets, teaching them, because when they go upstairs, they have to know, making sure they're not going into a room that can harm themselves, right? They can get a communicable disease. We also have to worry about those things. So as opposed to, my peers here that are on this chat here, healthcare is a little different beast when it comes to that. But in the other hospitals I worked, we did catering. So we did a lot of, med exec things. We did fine dining things. And that's really where, as a chef, that any of you that would be interested in healthcare would be a really good field to get into. It's really hard to find chefs. I had a chef opening for about 2 months because I couldn't find the right candidate. And the chefs that I've hired in the past don't last because they don't know exactly what they're getting into. It's not the bells and whistles of like fine dining. It's a lot different. So you have to have that passion. At the end of the day, I look at the patients as like my family. Trying to make sure that they have the best experience. Because at the end of the day, food service and housekeeping are probably the only two disciplines in a hospital that a patient doesn't fear. They don't fear getting poked by nurses or getting bad news from doctors. So so food service, we really can make an impact in one stay while they're at the hospital. So so healthcare is a different beast. Any of you interested? They do pay very well, I believe. They pay pretty good in healthcare, at least with Kaiser they do. The benefits are really great. So, there aren't that many positions. So within Southern California, there's only, I think we have about 9 chefs. And typically you manage about 1 or 2 facilities. So it's something, if something ever comes up, it's definitely a stable job that isn't going to go anywhere. And in a pandemic, I mean, we're here, we're part of the, what's that word I'm looking for? I can't think of it, but the essential workers part of the hospital. So that's kind of in a nutshell what I do. And it's kind of what I do, 5 days a week. I don't work weekends, so I get those off.
Wow, awesome schedule, huh?
That is awesome. Yeah.
You're the boss, man. The weekday guy, huh?
That is a cool job. 9 to 5 chef job.
Can I apply just cutting onion and garlic?
Sure, I'm hiring right now. I have
Just to be the starter?
3 positions right now.
3 positions just to just to cut or slice all the ingredients.
Yeah, and it's they're union positions, so they my dietary aides that just wash dishes and serve to our patients. They make about $18 an hour with full benefits. So they have really, I believe, for what they do, they get paid very well.
Okay, so everyone has their department, huh? In the kitchen.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. We got our kitchen got renovated in 2014, so it's relatively new still.
That is so awesome. I'm like, I'm interested.
Let's go.
I'll apply to be a sous chef.
I can squish the garlic. You do the onion.
We have some division of labor over here. And so for those of you who worked in a restaurant, so what are the dynamics like, and what are the positions? What are the working conditions or working situations and scenarios that can happen between front of the house and back of the house? We only see them, as far as I'm concerned, I've only seen them on TV, when I watch, specific shows with, a star celebrity chef, telling everybody what to do. But what happens in real life?
Same thing.
I think
same thing.
yeah, it's very similar.
Yes.
So like in a restaurant setting, you're definitely working in a very fast-paced environment. There's a lot going on. There are, you're working 5 or 6 saute and sometimes different dishes all having to come up together timed perfectly. And you see Gordon Ramsay expediting on the TV, and everything comes up to him and it has to be perfect, and then he does his little thing, and a lot of it just gets overlooked. They just see the chef, but they don't see the hours of prep time that went into those dishes, from the guys in the morning that are receiving our deliveries and making our stocks and sauces, to the butcher who's taking down the big hunks of meat and fish. And it comes down to, it's a very highly stressful situation. It's hot. uh, it's it's but it's something that I've always thrived on. Being back as a young line cook, that was a situation that I love. Saturday night, you knew you were going to be busy all night long, and it's just, you come to work, you maybe have an extra cup of coffee, and you just focus and cook hard. And in an ideal situation, you've got 2 or 3 guys standing on the line next to you who are similarly focused and driven as you are, and you just push. And then at the end of the day, it is about just serving consistent food that is what the guests are looking for, and making their day.
And then there's a behind the scenes. For example, we're worried about temperature control, food safety, making sure we purchase from reputable sources to avoid this, like the cross contaminant and all these the sick foodborne illnesses. So there's a lot to it, and we take pride in making sure the food is safe to our customers, the quality of it. It's not like those McDonald's places where you see the what is this, the food worker putting the hamburger on the floor. Those are isolated incidents. But when we're in a rush and the line is busy, we stay focused. We make sure everything is clean, sanitized, and make sure the line's running smooth, and to provide that excellent customer service. And the number one priority is keeping the customer safe and the food excellent.
That is
That's
so
true.
awesome. Yeah, that makes it feel, a little bit more secure and safer, right? Don't you
Yes.
think? Yeah, Ed?
Mhm.
Yes, of course, safety first, right?
Yes, because we do the temp logs. We have to,
Right.
monitor the reach-in, the walk-in refrigerators, freezers. Everything is logged, and that's the best part of, you take pride in what you do, and just it's all for the guests.
That is
I've,
so
I've, no-
awesome.
I've noticed that for the past 10 or 20 years or even more, there are more male chefs rather than women. Huh?
No,
Yeah,
there's a lot
I
of
think that's
female
rather
chefs.
unfortunate. But it has traditionally been a very male driven
Right.
industry, and I think I'm starting to see a little bit of a change. There are some very, very talented female cooks who are moving into sous chef and chef positions now, and then obviously business owners as well. um, I I don't think that I don't think that's something that's going to continue. I think you're going to start seeing a lot more female
Yeah,
dominated restaurants.
yeah. Like I worked with one of the best chefs that I worked with was a female. She's really good. She was the very first, I think, to become a sous chef at Spago Beverly Hills. She was
Because
really, really
typically,
good,
every
and
time I
she's
go to a
female.
nice fine dining restaurant, I always observe who are the cooks, who are the chef. Typically, they're all males. Huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so, can you guys describe what's your creative process and who are the people who influenced your flavors, and what would you typically cook? Like, what are your your specialties? Because you guys may cook something else at your places of work, but what are your favorite flavors and cuisines, and who influenced you in terms of your cooking?
Hmm.
Anybody? Let's start with Almark.
Yeah. So what I want to do with my food is I play with spices. I really love playing with spices. I love how cinnamon smells, star anise, fennel, and cloves and everything. And then it's just so magical that when you put them together, it creates something different. Like, for example, like we make pho, we make pho.
Mhm.
So all of those spices, we put them in one pot, boil it for 20 hours or more. So, and then that much bones, like 100 pounds of bones in one batch.
Mhm.
So what inspires me is yes, the spices, how you can combine them, and how that can impact the food that you're cooking. Uh, and different foods around the world, like just in the Philippines. If you go to Bulacan, there's a lot of the taste there is different. Go to Pampanga, it's gonna be different.
Mhm.
Go to um, go to Tagaytay, it's gonna be different. Go to Baguio, it's gonna be different. It's because they have specific spices in their town that they use. So yeah, it's spices for me. Spices. It's gonna be spices and different spices all over the world. Like that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
Anyone else?
Well, for myself, my ultimate dream is to travel the world and learn different cuisines. And so the best part is I'm not picky. I love to try new things and explore. Like from Jamaica, the Caribbean jerk chicken. I like the everywhere. There's so many influence flavors, and I just want to be a part of that and then share that with the world. You know,
Mhm.
that's
Yeah,
what I
before
like.
you share the world, share it to me first, okay?
Oh, of
Yeah,
course, yeah.
yeah.
I will never
We,
forget about you.
you know,
In Ate,
share it to each one of us here first.
Definitely,
share to us first. We're the
definitely.
quality
This is a good,
controller.
yeah, this is a good focus group for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
You get
but
Everything
like
my
the
starts here.
consumer and the,
Mhm.
and the pro side of it, right?
yeah, my advice to everybody is to just try something new. I encourage my kids all the time, try something new. They say, no, it's nasty, but then they try it and then they want more. So then you can get that experience too. If you haven't tried anything, you try something new and yeah, definitely be your favorite. Except I honestly tried bolo. I don't know if I can do it again. Sorry about that. I'm sorry.
Which one? Oh, balot?
Yeah, bolo.
You said you want to try everything.
Oh, I tried, so I did that. I checked it, check mark. I tried,
Okay,
but
good.
no,
That's
but no
the
more.
best.
That's all checked off your bucket list,
Yeah,
right?
that's checked
And
off.
never again.
Deleted already.
Delete.
Deleted.
You're like you're done with it. So anybody else, what's your inspiration or influence for your flavors, and what is your creative process?
So
Mimi?
for me,
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
go
So
ahead.
I like
Sorry.
Mediterranean flavors,
Hmm.
French Mediterranean. So when I was starting, I would read a lot of books. Since I'm already in a fine dining kitchen under Wolfgang Puck, so that's really, I'm fortunate to be there, fortunate to have that experience.
Mhm.
But I would read a lot about Thomas Keller. There was
Mm-hmm.
even one time that I went to our restaurant, Thomas Keller. He owns a French Laundry in Napa Valley. Um, and also Ferran Adria. He owns El
Mm-hmm.
Bulli from Spain. So I would read all their works. I would buy their books, and I would replicate how they do their own, how they cook. So I just love the Mediterranean flavors, how the tomatoes, garlic, the colors, the flavors, the smell of it. I love it. So that I never like stop like reading or researching or eating out and trying new things, different cuisines, different flavors. But I would always go back. That I myself, I love cooking Mediterranean flavors. Whenever
Mm-hmm.
I do my tasting, I would always go back to Mediterranean flavors. I'm very comfortable with it. So it's also healthy.
Yes, that is
Yeah,
so awesome.
yeah, it's a healthy diet. Mediterranean is a very healthy diet.
Yes, that's one thing I miss about like being in lockdowns, like eating out and discovering all kinds of food, because I eat out a lot and I like different kinds of food, and that's always something that I look forward to. So Hilarion, you were trying to say something earlier before I
Yeah,
cut you off.
that's okay. What I was trying to say was, I think a lot of it has to do with the freshest ingredients you can possibly get.
Mhm.
And that comes down to how your dish is going to turn out.
Yes.
So when I go to my family's from Ilocos Norte, so when I go there, I love going to the fresh vendors and getting the freshest vegetables you possibly get that other than if you grew it yourself, and then bringing that home and then cooking it and seeing the different things that they have bagged and trying like Matthew said, trying things. You know, in Ilocos they had different types of like ants and different things that I said, okay, go ahead, let me try it. So my aunt would cook it for me, and it's actually not bad, you know, different things. But it comes down to the ingredients and going to the places, like Elmark said, to get the most authentic taste. So when I go to Ilocos, what I bring back? I bring three things every time I go. I bring salt for pasukin, I bring bagoong from Sarat, and I bring vinegar from Sarat, where my grandma's from, my Lola's from. So I bring those things back. I fly to Lawag from Manila, and I take a bus back to bring all my stuff back home, so I can take it in a balikbayan box home, and that's how I can have the most authentic flavor here in my own kitchen. Is bringing those things that you can't necessarily buy. You can buy here, but it's not of the same quality. And then I bring my seeds from Ilocos, so I have all my vegetables. So my what is that? Bitter melon, different vegetables that I bring from Ilocos, from the old ladies there, that they're bringing here in my pocket, and I plant them, and then I have the best pakbet you can ever have. Those are the things that that's one of my food. That's the reasons why my family likes my food when I cook, because you can't find those vegetables in the store unless you go to the farmer's market. But it's a different things, or waking up in the morning to get the calabasa flowers. You can't do that. You can't necessarily find that the freshest ingredients. So that's what I think. And when I go to Hungary, my other side, I also bring spices there, because there's stuff you can't. The paprika, for example, the one you buy here is practically brown, right? The one over there is so bright red and so colorful that there's no comparison. So those are the things that I do when I go back home to my my roots. I bring back the flavors that I can't get here, and that's kind of how I get that. That's how I kind of cook. I have chickens. I grow them. I eat them, because you can't make the good tinola without it. So those are the types of things I do. My pork, I kill pigs every year. I buy them from Fresno from a farmer, and I bring them down here. I slaughter it. So those are the kind of things I go to the extent in my life that I don't buy anything handmade. I have bees, so I do that. I have my own honey, so I also make different things with it. But then I try to be as sustainable as possible, because I think that as a culinarian, you have to think about the impact that you make on the environment, right? The carbon footprint that you're making. So trying to buy local is always the best. Trying to do those different things to help kind of eliminate the carbon footprint, because as you all know, agriculture, raising meat, it's all very taxing on the environment. So trying to, looking at those different things that, for me, I would love to try to go kind of like meatless Mondays. I'm not quite there yet, but going towards that might be something that I feel like that's where a lot of people are going to, especially where I work. You see a lot of that going on, but I think, going back to the question, sorry, going off topic, but I just think that it goes down to the freshest ingredients, and what you can get locally. I think that's really important. And in California, seasons are great here, so we have access to really great things year round, practically.
I agree. So where do you live? Just kidding.
Me, I live in Roland Heights.
Roland Heights.
That's not too far from here.
Yeah. Okay, Roland Heights.
I'm like, I'm completely sold. I'm gonna try some of Hilarian's food. So Matthew or Michael or Carlo?
Yes.
I think kind of to piggyback on what the other chefs have said is, I have this conversation a lot with some of my sous chefs, and they have so much more access now and information than we did 15 years ago. A young line cook could wake up this morning and scroll through their Instagram feed, and they can see what a chef in Spain was doing last night, or from another side of the world. You have that information in your hand. You can, if you take, for instance, if you take the train into work, spend those 30 minutes just scrolling through and learning. And when I was a younger cook, you'd have to wait 6 months to a year sometimes for a chef to put out a cookbook where you could then learn how to recreate the dishes that they became famous for or whatever. And now they have all that information just at the tips of their fingers. So it's really easy to draw inspiration from the entire world now, as opposed to when I started, I cooked in the Italian restaurant. So like all of my energy and all my time went into learning about the history of that food, and not to say that it hasn't benefited me as I've progressed on through my career, but now you can have such a global influence. One of my chefs today was telling me that she wants to learn about Lebanese food, and I'm like, great, let's do it. Let's just get in there and dive in and do everything that we can. So
That's so awesome to try and experiment, and because a lot of like the different flavors and how they all work together, all the chemistry that comes with it. So Matthew and Carlo, do you have anything to add to that?
Well, I was going to piggyback also, like we never stop learning, as chefs, as cooks. I mean, you never stop learning, exactly what Michael was saying. I mean, now it's easier. I mean, we have access to everything now. You can get any recipe. You could download anyone's cookbook now. I mean, and you could download any recipe, which is great. And again, what inspires me the most is just like seeing chefs like who are here. I mean, expressing their love for their food. I mean, that inspires me, because I mean, seeing Filipinos rise up. It's really good to see that. It was very hard, especially growing up here, where there was no one you could really look up to. There was no Filipino chef you could really see and say, oh man, that's representation right there. Now there's so much representation right now, which is so great. And I think that's my inspiration as well, is the fact that we never stop learning, and then we just learn from each other as a community, as chefs, as a chef community over here.
Yes. And then also it's very important to keep an open mind. Like, for example, when you go straight out of culinary school, you feel like, oh, I'm a chef, I know everything. But then the reality kicks in, and you don't know anything. So as you go, you learn different techniques and how to become better. So you have to keep an open mind, and just accept constructive criticism, no matter if the chef is yelling. It's all the dynamics of the field, right? You just have to accept it, move forward, and be the best you can be.
Yes, chef.
Yes, chef, right?
Yes, chef. Exactly.
Yes, chef.
The first thing you learn in the kitchen is yes, chef. No matter what.
The chef is always right. No matter if it's burning, if the food is burning, the chef's
always right. So for your guests out there, the one takeaway is the chef's always right.
Exactly.
That's what it always is.
That is so it's not just TV, right? It's that people actually say yes, chef. In real life.
Yes. There are three things that you are allowed to answer to a chef. Yes, chef. I don't know, chef. No, chef. That's it. Yes, chef. I don't know, chef. No, chef. That's it. Don't make any excuses. Do not explain anything.
Like, for example,
you could be right and he's wrong, but you say yes, chef. Yes, chef. I don't know, chef.
I'll give you an example. Like when I was working at different companies, so it's someone's fault that they did something, and so the chef would like come to me and say, okay, Matthew, don't do that. I don't say, oh, they did it. I say, okay, yes, chef. And then I tell the other person, okay, this is what happened, because to make an excuse is something, but then it's all about accountability. So I took it upon myself, okay, yes, chef. And then I'm not going to blame anybody else. I'll just, we're all a team. We one band, one sound. We just work together, and that's how we sync, to make this the business, the flow.
And like you said, what the background is actually is it's a team effort, whether it's front of the house or back of the house. Communication is key, especially when it's front of the house as well. I mean, it's one thing as a chef creating a dish, but how do you communicate that to your front of the house? How do you communicate that to your servers? How does your servers communicate that to your guests? I mean, those are important things for us as chefs, because then not only are we teaching our cooks, we're also teaching the front of the house. We're teaching our servers. We're teaching our hosts. We're teaching even our dishwasher sometimes. I mean, that's one thing I love about the kitchen. It's all a dynamic flow of everyone as one team, as one unit, working as one common goal, and then to please the guests and to make sure that we're ensuring that it's the best standard possible.
Yes, especially when it comes to, like, say, allergies, peanut allergies, and any allergy in general, if we don't communicate it to the front of the house, this is a liability. It's something that can hurt, and potentially someone can die from it. So we just have to take pride in what we do, communicate. No matter if you're dishwasher, prep, you don't treat anybody differently, because we're in it together. That's what I love about the kitchen.
And so someone has a comment from our viewers. Is it true to never trust a skinny chef?
Why?
Yeah, if they have
I'm trying to lose weight.
That is my next comment. Usually, when you see chef, they're usually big, right?
Yes.
I mean, big.
Well,
That's
it depends.
trademark.
It depends because Matthew, you're doing your keto stuff now, right? You're cooking keto stuff. Is that what you're doing?
No, I'm doing the Filipino food.
Sorry. Yeah, because honestly, I as a chef growing up, I was always big. But
Yes.
I mean, man, after a while, if you get high blood pressure and high cholesterol, you gotta be skinny afterwards.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. I mean, as a chef now, I think a lot of chefs are very conscious now, especially health conscious, knowing exactly where we need to be in nutrition wise. Exactly, I'm sure like Hilarion could tell you that. I mean, the nutrition is also number one here too, especially like Matthew said, it's allergies also. I mean, it's not just peanut, gluten, it's celiac disease. I mean, it's things like that. I mean, it's just those things that as chefs, that's what we have to deal with,
Mm-hmm. Yes. So going back to what Carlo said about keto, what trends are you noticing nowadays in terms of hospitality industry?
Oh, everybody is allergic to gluten. Everybody is allergic to gluten. It doesn't matter if they are, if they're not. Everybody is, and it gets really frustrating, especially for those things. If the guests would just be honest with us, it's a lot easier for us to do our job. I used to hate when a server would come in and say, "Chef, the table whatever is allergic to onions." Okay, now you eliminated stock from everything that we do. Any of our sauce work, or a majority of our sauce work, at least. And if you've got people who are, I've been told black pepper before, or olive oil, like those things are the foundations and the base of everything that we do. So if you're on a date and you don't want to have garlic, just tell your server, hey, can you ask the chef to remove the garlic as much as possible, or don't add any extra garlic? But it's really important. We're talking about how we need to educate our staff. We also need to educate our diners and let them know it's okay for them to ask for things, and if we can accommodate them, we're probably going to. But don't make our jobs harder by not being completely transparent with us as well.
Or guests need to know the difference between an allergy versus a preference.
Yes.
But I mean, going to trends now, I think during the pandemic, I think people were just going back to comfort food. I mean, just eating in particular. I mean, people were trying to do diets. I mean, keto is the biggest one still going on now. But now, during the pandemic, I think people are very willing to just try anything now. I mean, I've seen people, making sourdough bread. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, you do see people now wanting to at least be adventurous in trying different things now.
And that is so true as well, especially for those who are staying at home. Like back in March, everyone was doing all kinds of breads, and then everyone and then a couple of months later, it's all about baked sushi, and then it changed every couple of months. And I saw that from our Socal Pinoy's Facebook group. And speaking of trends, Filipino food has gotten a lot of traction in the last recent years, right? And what do you guys think about how it's perceived now, and where is it going in the future?
Far. It's gonna go far.
I think so too. I think
a lot of people are fusing it with everything.
Yes.
Fusions, right? Fusion.
I think the biggest hurdle that we have to overcome is that a lot of our food is brown and fried. Like it's really unfortunate, but like when you look at our food, it's brown or it's fried. and
Yeah.
so it's not
Yeah,
always
yeah.
visually appealing. So that's the hurdle that we have to overcome. I think there's a lot of chefs that are really doing a great job, presenting food that looks visually as appealing as well as being really tasty. So
And again, I was gonna say, and then just I think Michael, I mean, and then that us as chefs is going to translate that,
yeah.
taking our background, for us in Calajo, we love ube, so we're putting ube in everything that we could think of, so I mean things like that. I mean, just to make it relatable to people who never tried Filipino food before, but you can make it relatable in maybe a macaron, or you make it into a bun cake, or a donut, things like that. You see that a lot now, where Filipino food is being fused a lot, where it's being relatable now, where people can recognize it. So
Yes. Yeah, and I received a lot of reviews, a lot of compliments saying that my Filipino food's not greasy, and I think more of the technique of skimming off the grease, the fat, making it more healthy, no MSG, and it's more naturally, and I feel the people think the Filipino food is greasy, like you said, fried, but if you change the technique, skimming off all the grease and making it more presentable, I think we'll definitely go far with it. Because the flavor is there, the flavor is jam packed. The steak, the submerged with the onions, and it's everything is. I'm proud to share with you.
Stop it. We're getting hungry.
And
The big steak.
especially Filipino food, right? Filipino food is derived by many diasporas of different nations, right? I mean, Filipino food can't just be described as Filipino food. I mean, there's different cultures in that. I mean, Spanish, of course, Malay, Chinese. I mean, it's just a mixture. So for me, it's like when you say Filipino food, I mean, it really will differentiate to the Filipino, I mean, especially a Filipino like me who grew up here born in the Philippines but grew up here in the States, using California ingredients and just transforming it into Filipino food, and to me that's Filipino food. Maybe many Filipinos may say that's not Filipino food, but I mean, to me that's Filipino food. It's just about exactly what Matthew said. It's the technique now. I mean, it's just being thoughtful, but I mean, you're just really using those Filipino ingredients and transforming it into Filipino food.
And so here's the $1,000,000 question: has Filipino food arrived?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Oh yes.
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 I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Well, I'm proud to say, like, I had my grand opening on Saturday, and then believe it or not, there's it's diverse. There's Black, Mexican, white. It's diverse, and I'm really proud to say that, everybody is interested in enjoying Filipino and Filipino food. I'm just proud to bring it to the community.
Yeah, absolutely. That's very true. I mean,
we just need to get known for one dish. Like what is ramen is from Japan, paella is from Spain, escargot is from France. We kind of have to be known with one dish at least. Whether it's adobo, it's sinigang, it's lechon.
of course.
We need to it is good that it has been highlighted because a lot of popular chefs like the late Anthony Bourdain would go to the Philippines and highlight our roasted pig. But it would really help a lot if we can get known to one dish from our country.
Yes.
It will help a lot. And it will be in the level of look what happened to ramen. Every single corner in this country has ramen now.
But everybody knows lumpia, right?
Yeah, but lumpia is
the language of love, lumpia.
That is so true. And so what's your favorite food to eat? And what restaurant would you recommend aside from your own restaurant or venture, of course?
My all-time favorite is shabu shabu. I love to dip the meat and that's my favorite thing. Yeah, shabu shabu. So I love the lamb, the ribeyes, and it's all fresh meats, the vegetables. You just put it in the pot with your choice of flavors, and that's my all-time favorite.
Man, I like bon shabu. Yes.
Shabu shabu.
And what restaurant
what
would
I'm
you?
feeling that day.
Me,
it's
I'm,
all
I'm,
different
I'm,
types.
I'm just a steak guy. I love a good ribeye steak, seared very well.
Mhm.
Medium rare with the gratin potatoes. Cream spinach.
I should have ate before I did this one.
Things like that. Because me, I want a hearty meal. I want to be
Yeah.
able to have something hearty. But yeah, I mean, just for me, as simple as just a nice seared steak.
Mhm.
That makes me happy. I mean, it just could just be something that just satisfies me, just like that.
Mhm.
Michael?
I'm the taco guy, I think. Being down here in LA, get to work at 1 o'clock in the morning. You're hitting your little local taco truck, getting a couple of the best bites of the night. I I spent 6 years working for Boa Steakhouse, so I was in Santa Monica and then in West Hollywood, and it was just amazing. You're working with all these great ingredients and A5 Wagyu and foie gras when we were allowed to, and all of this, and then you go down to your local taco truck and you get a little plate of it in nice cold Jamaica or something, and just like, man, that's the best.
That is so awesome. Mimi, what's your favorite?
It's different. Like when you're hungover, I go to Korean restaurant to get some soup. So there's a lot here in Koreatown and downtown LA. So they
Mm-hmm.
would have like
They're
very
everywhere.
clean beef bone broth soup, anything, and something spicy that is very comforting. So yeah,
I think I know
that's
what
my
you're saying.
go-to.
That's the solongtang.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
yeah.
yes.
And so I have another $1 million question since we're talking about like different kinds of food, right? Raisins or no raisins?
No raisins.
No,
No
No
raisins.
raisins.
Jesus Christ.
raisins are
Yeah.
fine.
Who likes
Only
No
golden
raisins?
raisin.
raisin.
No raisins. I'm
Raisin.
sorry. We had this conversation. My empanada, they don't
Yeah.
have any raisins.
No raisin.
No raisins at all. No.
And the
Not
gelatin with
unless
raisins,
if it's
no.
rehydrated with white wine.
Oh my god.
Salt or fish sauce?
Fish
Oh,
sauce.
Fish
wow.
sauce.
Fish
Huh?
sauce.
Fish sauce over salt?
Fish
Yeah.
sauce.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fish sauce,
Mhm.
yes, yes.
It
Fish
has
sauce.
the umami
Yes,
flavor
yes,
to it.
yes,
That's true.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
yes.
That is so awesome. And what will be your top 3 advices for our viewers who want to get into the culinary industry or want to jumpstart their careers and be a chef?
Work
Don't,
Just
hard.
do it.
don't discourage.
Just do
Work
it.
hard.
Eat,
A lot of
Don't be
people will
discouraged.
discourage you.
eat.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Eat, eat.
Eat,
Like
eat,
I
eat,
mentioned
exactly.
before, open mind. Have an open
Yeah,
mind.
open mind,
Yeah.
exactly.
Be
With
Open
a
mind.
strong heart.
be
Yeah,
very
exactly.
hungry for
Mhm.
Yeah,
like learning every day.
Mhm.
You need to
Yes.
learn
exactly.
something new every day.
Yeah.
Learn
Mhm.
something new every day.
Hmm.
It can be
And
anything,
Yes. I think
but
the
it can be
main
a
one is
technique, it can be
the
a skill,
yes.
but learn
And
something new every day.
just take constructive criticism. Like,
Yes.
just don't dwell on it. Go home, sleep well. You don't have to continue beating yourself up. You're just gonna learn. Uh, just keep on learning, and you'll grow.
Yes, true.
That's
That is
exactly it.
so awesome. And do you guys have any memorable experiences or like your top memorable experiences from being a chef?
Well, I can say from home, like a home aspect, like my grandma passed away like a couple years ago, and she lost her memory. But the thing is, she remembers her recipes, and I always ask her, and I'm really thankful. She's willing to teach me, learn, and I just wrote down the recipes, and I'm here now. She take pride in her cooking, and I do the same.
That is so awesome. Anyone else? We want to hear everyone's memorable
Yeah.
experiences.
One of mine was
They're bad?
every year at Cal Poly we used to do we used to call a harvest auction, and it's basically very rich people donating money to the school. And I remember we had a Santa Maria barbecue. So this trailer from Santa Maria, California, brought this trailer of white oak wood that they barbecued tri-tip on. And that's what they were famous for. But this was massive, huge, probably like 12 by 5 feet, or maybe 12 by 3 or something like that. Large, long grills of white oak. So when white oak is burned, it's very, very smoky. So I started there probably at 3:00. I probably started with maybe 10 others. By the end of the night, I was the only one there because I was the only one that could stick it out with the burning eyes and runny nose from the smoke. So the next day, I mean, like, the following, that was a Saturday. So the following Monday, I remember in class, this is my first year at the Collins School. And one of my teachers, I think his name was Gary Hamilton. I'm not sure if he teaches there still, but he was kind of like, kind of the scary teacher. I'm like, oh, I don't really want to be, kind of sit in the back and kind of stay out of trouble. And he's like, I want to see you after class. And I'm like, okay, what the heck did I do? So the owner said that, he was just saying that this kid didn't give up. That's one thing I was going to say is, like, don't give up. Try your best, work your hardest, and someone's going to notice. And that person that's going to notice may give you an opportunity. And that's something that has happened to me multiple times. For example, I started at Kaiser Riverside as a chef, and I'm now the director of 2 facilities. So, people have given me the opportunity to go to school, right? Because I mean, when I was taking my master's, I was working, but the folks that I was working for saw something in me to give me that time and give me that time to better myself. So that's one thing I think to learn from is work hard, and someone will notice, and someone will pay it forward. So that's what I do now. So when people are trying to go to school, I make every attempt to make it work, because I understand people have finances, people have life to live, but at the end of the day, education is going to better them. So I always do what I can to do it. It's probably my Filipino side too, trying to help everybody, and just wanting to. If they're going for the education, I always try to help, and I always try to see the ambition in people and the good intent in people, because typically not everyone's like that, but you're going to find those handful of people that are genuine, and those are the people I like to help. And I've done it. I continue to do it, and that's one thing that I like to pay forward, because people did it. People took the chance on me, so I think it's my only right thing to pay it forward. So it's one of the things that it's like you work hard, and you'll become successful in the end.
And ask questions, lots of questions. Yeah, ask questions.
That is so awesome. Anyone else has memorable experiences, or better yet, have you experienced cooking for a well-known celebrity or personality?
Yes.
Yeah, I've had plenty of opportunity. That it's a lot of fun. It gets a little bit strenuous and nerve-wracking, but at the end of the day, they're just people. They just want to be taken care of. They're there to have a good meal, and it's our job to not only just focus on that one table, but we've got maybe 100 other tables in the dining room that we have to make sure the food is for all of them too. And I think that's kind of what I was going to say is, like, being afforded the opportunity to cook in some really, really nice kitchens and really nice restaurants. I think it's the times when my friends and family come in and you can kind of show off for them. And, I used to have a chef who would say, you miss all you miss family birthday parties, you miss gatherings, you miss all these things. And everybody always asks, well, where's Michael? He's at the restaurant, he's working. So when the friends and family finally do get to come in, and you can just totally amaze them with what it is that you do at the restaurant, finally it starts to click, like, okay, so this is what he's been doing this whole time. So, some of my best memories are definitely cooking for people I know.
Yes.
That's so awesome. And so for anyone, like for all of our viewers, where can they find you? So for those who have social media presence, where can our viewers find you if they want to try your food, or if they have any questions and whatnot? Where can people find you?
Well, like me, you can find me on Instagram. We're in Calajo, LA. We're also at calajolaLA.com. Calajo Catering LA. We're in Instagram, and also as Facebook as well. So and again, we're located here in Santa Clarita. I don't know if anyone knows where Santa Clarita is, but yeah, we're pretty, we're not that far from LA, but we're still far enough that we're like in kind of up north here. But yeah, so you can find us in Instagram, Facebook, and even our .com, Calajo.
And then I'm located in Marietta, Tisoy Curryative Cuisines. And you can find me on foodgnome.com. I'm on Instagram and Facebook, and we would love to serve you.
Yeah, I have. I'm on Instagram, Blue Chicken by Mimi. Hit me up. If you want to try my food, yeah.
I want to
Yeah,
try
so
everyone's food.
yeah, we have a Facebook, Fall Legend. You guys can search it up. We're located on Third and Vermont.
I think I ate there.
Third and
I'm
Yeah, you look
I'm
familiar.
across from what? Vaughn's?
Yes,
Oh,
in front of Vons. Yes.
In front of
Oh,
Vaughn's,
where
huh?
Yeah,
oh
Ralph
like
is.
yeah,
yeah.
that one.
That's
Where
the
Ralph
craziest
is,
Yeah,
right?
intersection in LA.
it was beside Lilins before, so Lilins is gone.
Oh,
So
yeah, it's on the other side, on the
yeah,
west
other
side of the
side.
street.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Awesome. Michael?
You can find me once we get back open. I'll be at the Commerce Casino. Um, in October, we were cooking outside, so everybody could come up and interact with us. So hopefully, we can get back open there soon. On Instagram, I am chef.nef, so just NEF. And then I also did start my keto meal prep, so you can find us at Fat and Fit Meal Prep on Instagram.
Awesome.
Are the casinos open yet, or they're shut down too?
We're shut down. We're waiting. Hopefully we get going soon though. We're all anxious to get back.
Okay, you heard that, gamblers, shut down.
No, no
Don't
gambling.
don't come. We own your own
Gambling.
property.
And so we're coming up right at the half hour, and I just wanted to thank all of our guests. This has been such a fun,
Yes.
fun podcast. Like, we learned so many things. It's so enriching, and it has, made us better people in understanding, what chefs go through and what the stories behind it is, in becoming a chef. And, like, we all know a lot of it comes from our own families, right? And the familial ties that we have. And so, are you guys ready for the raffle? I forgot.
Oh yes, we're ready.
I forgot to
What?
mention.
Yes,
Oh
yes,
my
yes.
God. And so, everybody, if you want to join the raffle, hashtag iDream. So, whoever's here, hashtag iDream. We have 6 raffle prizes
Including us.
tonight. Yeah. So, for our viewers, hashtag iDream if you want to be entered into the raffle, and we'll give you a couple of minutes. We always save this until the very end. So hashtag iDream. And just last question while we're waiting for, all of our viewers to enter hashtag iDream. Like, so when are you happiest at work?
Oh, let me go first.
Closing.
Since I'm the only no.
Good.
When somebody would look for a chef, when a customer wants to talk to the
yeah.
chef, so it can be two things: they be very mad, or you make them very happy. So I would
Yes.
have the experience of, like, the customer would tell me, like, it's the best meal they've had in their life, and that would happen to be my special. So that's very rewarding, because you're not just selling food then, you're selling experience.
Experience.
Yes,
Yes.
that's priceless.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially I work at the university, and the students they take pride in trying the food, and they give honest feedback, and when they
Yeah.
say it's good and delicious, I feel proud, and it's just been a blessing
Yes,
hearing
it's
that
just
feedback.
experience, because they would remember that. Like, I've
Yeah,
had this best, whatever, this best lumpia from
yeah,
Matthew.
yeah.
I have this
But
best
then,
keto meal from
yes,
Michael. You're
yes,
selling experience now. It's just not food that they're
yes,
buying. It's
yeah,
the
and
experience,
just
and
a
it
Happiness,
stays with
happiness.
them.
yes, just a disclaimer, like the parents, you have kids in the university, they are eating their vegetables. Okay? They eat a lot of vegetables, so that's a good thing, especially broccoli.
Mhm.
Yeah, broccoli.
So you
So,
Yeah,
guys
I'd
work
say
like
for me
10.
also. Go ahead.
Go ahead. So you guys work what? Let's say 5 days a week. 8 hours, 10 hours. You go home, you still cook?
Nope.
Or you
Oh,
No,
my
you
wife
just
cooks
you
for
just
me.
drink and then
Yeah. Well,
try to
it's
sleep.
just, I mean, it depends. I mean, just like Michael said, you could get a taco late at night. I mean, you don't want to cook anymore after cooking
Yeah.
12 to 16-hour days. It's like
right.
you're done. You're done seeing
Yeah.
anything that resembles anything. You know,
Yeah,
yeah.
you get a break. The wife doesn't cook anymore.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, my wife doesn't cook. I'm the only one who cooks at home. So, I mean,
Ah,
if there's no food, I starve. But no, no. I mean, no. But I mean, yeah. I mean, after working long hours,
right,
yeah,
right,
you could ask any cook, any chef. We won't want to eat. We won't want to cook anything at home. I
right.
mean, we just want to eat something simple.
Yeah.
That's all
So
we
Yeah.
want.
I was thinking
Peanut
because
butter
of
and
your
jelly is
passion,
my
probably
go-to.
you still have to cook when you get home.
Sandwich and egg.
I still cook.
Peanut butter and
that's for
jelly.
scrambled egg, right? So what makes you the happiest, in cooking or being a chef?
What makes me happiest is, actually feeding my children. Actually, they're actually my guinea pigs in regards to my recipes. So
Guinea
they'll actually let me know if it's good or not. Actually, that makes me happiest because actually, like my daughters are actually helping out in their business as well. So
Mhm.
that makes me happy to see that they're at least interested in at least trying, to see exactly what mom and dad are doing in their business as
Mhm.
well. So that makes me happy when we're actually working and we're actually working as a family together.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
And they can
they're
be like,
the yeah, they're the most like the safest people to try on different flavors.
Exactly, exactly.
You're,
they
you're
can also be
creating.
the most discerning people, right?
Yes,
I mean, they
That's
tell
absolutely.
you
good.
the truth.
That's
Yeah,
good though.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely,
They
absolutely.
can
Somebody
be
was
brutally
volunteer
they
honest
to
with
be
they,
a
you.
they
guinea
tell
pig.
it like how it is. This is
Yeah.
Exactly,
bad. This is
exactly.
really
Well, we
bad.
need that.
That's
Can I
very, very
volunteer too as a guinea pig? I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So are
Well,
we
well,
are we
yeah.
almost
As
ready?
Hilarion
Are we?
said, yeah. Oh, sorry. As Hilarion said, never give up. Just
yeah.
no matter the challenges, you're gonna
Mhm.
be faced with challenges. Either the heat of the moment, you may feel like, oh, I want to give up, but it's really rewarding in the end when you pull through. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, and then you just persevere, and then you feel proud of that you accomplished such a thing,
Yeah.
and then it inspires you to just continue on to the next challenge. So never give up.
That is so awesome. Anyone else have something to add before we go to the raffle portion of our show?
I mean, I think what when you were talking a little bit earlier about what like some advice for people who want to get into business, it's you have to remember that it's a long game. You're not gonna come out of culinary school or whatever and be a chef right away. You're gonna
Yes.
put in a lot of hours, a lot of hard work, and you're gonna have to pay your dues. And
Mhm.
eventually, it'll all pay off in the end. But it's something that you need to dedicate your life to. This is a
Mhm.
lifelong body of work for us. For some of us,
Mhm, yes.
15 years, 20 years almost, where it's like this is all that I've done for my adult life. And now that I'm in the position where I am, I have a little bit more time where I can spend with my kids and I can do the things that I want to do. But
Yes.
when I was 25 years old, I was blinded, and all I wanted to do was learn how to be the best line cook and eventually chef that I
Mhm.
could be. So
Mhm.
have a thick skin and remember that it is a long game.
Yes.
Yeah, you will cry and you will bleed.
A lot.
A lot.
And also, the walk-in is a great stress reliever. If ever you're stressed out, go in the walk-in, yell, scream. I mean, it just takes the stress out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That is so awesome. So once again, thank you guys so much. And are we ready for the raffle? So we're gonna end the raffle. I think there are like
Awesome.
3 more people who entered the raffle, but yeah. So this is it. It's 9:32
That's
p.m.
all.
on my end. That's it. Yeah, I'll give you like
Mhm.
30 more seconds. Just trying to get everybody in. Arvin, are you ready? And so we're going to show you the first raffle prize. And so our first raffle prize is from Michael Neflas. And it's 1 keto meal prep package. And that comes with 5 meals. And that's for a $60 value. And that's
Mhm.
from his new venture called Fat and Fit Meal Prep. And do you have anything to add to that, Michael?
This is new for me. It's a way of life for me. That's what I've kind of been preaching to everybody is like, no matter what it is that you do, don't think of this as a diet, whether you do keto or you do, low fat diet or, anything that you do. It's not a diet, it's a lifestyle. So, it's just changing your perspective and realizing that it is a lot about what you put into your body, and your body will react. It'll give you better results when you eat better, clean food in your body.
Okay. Arvin, are you ready to share the screen?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Awesome. There you
All
go.
right.
So let's do this.
All right.
Let's
Here
do
we
this,
go.
you guys. Drum roll. We don't have any sound effects.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Masha
So we got Marsha Tolentino won the meal prep kit from Michael Neflas. Congratulations. And so to those who will win, we're going to put you in a group chat so that you can coordinate how to get the prices, whether it's pickup or delivery or shipping or whatnot. And now we have something from Almark Alges Bernardo.
Wow, my fave.
Wow, we have one pho of your choice and one appetizer of your choice. So we're gonna have two winners for this one. So we'll have two
Yes.
rounds. So one prize comes with one pho of your choice and one appetizer of your choice. So that's like a $20 value each, and we'll have two of them. And this is courtesy of Almark Alges Bernardo from Pho
Yes.
Legend on
I'm the
3rd and
guinea pig.
Vermont.
Let's
Yeah.
go, let's go. Roll it,
Let's
roll it.
go.
Roll it.
Let's do this.
Roll it, roll
Egg,
it.
roll it.
Woohoo! Drum roll.
My name.
Drum.
Too far. Tanan, Vince Kasika.
Oh my gosh, Vince
Yeah.
won. So Vince, the first raffle winner of the one pho and one appetizer of your choice from Pho Legend on 3rd and Vermont here in LA. And so we'll have the second. Let's do one for the second winner.
Oh, let's go. Me.
Come on, you guys, let's go. We don't have sound effects. Oh my god.
What happened? There's no oil.
Oh, Vince.
Again?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, we'll
We'll
have to do that again.
redraw.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lucky.
One winner at a time.
You guys are so lucky. Vince Kasika is so lucky.
Me too far.
So we have Jennifer Alfonso Lee is the second winner of one pho of your choice and one appetizer from Pho Legend.
She wins every week.
We get the same winners all the time. And so that's from Pho Legend from Almark Alges Bernardo, and they're located at 3rd and Vermont. Okay, let's have this
Congratulations.
raffle prize number 4. It's from Carlo Avanceña
Another goodie.
of Calajo Catering. So that's 1 dozen of chicken empanada and
Wow.
no raisins. It does not have raisins. I remember. So that's a $36 value from Calajo Catering. And you can check them out on Facebook and Instagram, Calajo LA.
Yes.
And yeah.
That's
We
good for one.
also do pop-ups in the Phil-Ed Market. It's on 7th Street in the Arts District, in Manila Arts District as well. And just you can also follow. If you follow us, you'll actually see our pop-ups as well. So you can definitely see us, me and my wife, in person. So
Yeah, and they're actually going to be at
In Lakewood.
Vince's Cyclery,
Yes.
in Lakewood on Saturday.
yes.
All right, here we
I'm gonna
go.
drop by. I'm gonna drop
Roll
by.
it, roll it. Ay.
Oh,
Hey,
Okay. No,
let's go.
not again.
Let's
You guys
go.
always win.
He's got the magnet. Again. Nope.
no.
Lila.
Yeah, Leila Ortiz Luis. So congratulations. You won 1 dozen chicken empanada, no raisin, from Calajo, LA. Yeah, and so we'll put you all in the group chat so that we can all coordinate how you're going to get your raffle prizes. So we'll have to do the raffle prize number 5 and number 6. So there's going to be 2 winners for this one coming up. So
Yes.
it's one free meal of your choice. So there will be 2 winners. So that's $20 value each. And that's from Tisoy Curryative Cuisines. That's Matthew Curry. And Matthew will actually reach out to you with the coupon code. He will give it to you directly if you win the raffle prize. So let's go.
Let's go, Tisoy.
And this is actually you can choose your own meal, right, Matthew?
Oh, yeah, correct.
There's like several different kinds, and I saw the pictures, and I'm like, oh my god.
Next, another roll.
Oh, there we go.
Oh no,
Another
she already
roll.
won.
She
She won
won.
the first one. Let's do this again. Come on, you guys.
Okay.
Yes, more. Malu Valdez.
So Malu Valdez, congratulations! You won the first one of the of actually this one. Let me show you. So it's a free meal of your choice. That's a $20 value from Tisoy Curryative Cuisines. That's Matthew Curry. And so we have the last one. We have one more of that.
Yes, come on.
Free meal of your choice. That one. See, look at those pictures. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, on banana leaf, huh? What happened there? Roll it. You didn't roll the
Oh,
the
yeah, it was
wheel.
rolling. Yeah, so Lillian Tanawan is the winner of one free meal of your choice from Matthew Curry of Tisoy Curryative Cuisines, and he will reach out to you with a coupon code, right?
Very good.
Awesome.
She will drive from San Diego just to get the food.
Well, yeah, we're close by. We're in Marietta.
Yeah, Marietta. Yeah, and you can go to Temecula after, right? Or
Of
you know.
But no casino, remember?
Yeah,
No pichanga.
no pachanga yet. Right?
So once again, thank you so much, everybody. It was such a wonderful and fun podcast. Like we learned so many things from everybody, and of course, I want to eat like everyone. What everyone makes. I mean, I just want to try every single one like that. Whatever you guys make, like yeah, just hit me up and I'll be your taste tester forever. Like forever.
Remember, I'm the guinea pig.
Yeah, and so before we all go, do you guys have anything to say to our viewers?
Well, I just want to thank everybody for allowing me to be on this platform, and we appreciate you and can't wait to serve you. And thank you for watching.
All right.
Yeah, thank you for having us. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
Stay
you, everyone,
safe,
for your time.
everyone.
Yeah, but yes, stay safe.
Support your local businesses. Eat at your local restaurant.
Yes.
Yes, that's true. Eat at your local restaurants.
Thank you,
Support
chefs.
small
Thank you, chefs.
businesses, and support our chefs. Keep on continuing to support their endeavors and their food.
Right
So
on.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Be safe.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Good night, guys. Thank you.
Very much.
Good night, everybody, and don't
Bye.
forget tomorrow. I have an announcement before anything. So tomorrow, at 8:00 we have I Dream Live 91.5 jam sessions. We'll have another set of artists. Oh my God, we'll have 4 artists. We'll have Pat Calusura, who's a multi-instrumentalist. He's a professor of music, and he's from the UP Conservatory of Music. We'll have Jules King, our rock star acoustic guy. My gosh, like if you hear him, you'll be like super amazed. Sino pa, Kuya Ed? Who else do we have tomorrow?
I told Jane.
Jane Magan Chang, who's
Yeah.
actually a regular of the Socal Pinoy's karaoke group. She's going to be doing her own set. And of course, we have
And Mr.
Bunso,
Babyface.
Mr. Babyface himself. Yeah, the youngest of the group. We have Kenneth Laurente, who's actually a Viva Records recording artist. And he came out with a new single a month ago. And so we'll have all 4 of them tomorrow, starting at 8 o'clock. I Dream Jam Sessions with Kuya Ed and Arvin. So once again, thank you so much to all of our chefs, and good luck to everybody. And keep in touch. Keep me in your mind for taste tester. And thank you so much. And to everybody, thank you so much for sticking around. And congratulations to all of the raffle winners. And good night. And we'll see you again tomorrow at 8 o'clock. It's jamming time.
Yes.
Right.
Good night tonight.
Good night.
Right.
It's late night.
Bye.
Oh.